Stefanos, what's going on? Ready to come in?
I don't know what's going on, Ed. I never know what's going on. You know that.
What are you drinking tonight?
Just a little bit of yes.
Pops Blue Ribbon?
Yes, that's it. You know, we're going back war times with those beers. Vietnam, World War II, way back.
So I'm drinking wild strawberry, no boats on Sunday, apple cider. Crafted with 100% Canadian apples that have been sprayed with glyphosate, apparently. Or not.
You're in trouble now. You got to stop drinking that.
Anyways, guys, welcome to the lounge. Full of beer, as usual. We're going to talk about some serious stuff, so pour yourself a drink, sit back, relax. Maybe you're going to learn something. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the spraying that's going on in Northern Ontario, and thanks go to Justin for making us aware of this stuff over the past couple of weeks. Why should you care? Well, I'm going to bring in a guest. She's from the south of North Bay area, right in the spray zone. Michelle, and how do you want to start this off, Stefanos? Oh, yeah, one more thing. It's important that you guys share this stuff out because a lot of people have no clue what's going on, nor do they know what the health ramifications are. And they are many. And we're going to talk about the lawsuits tonight. So share this out if you can. No more than 10 people on Facebook if you're sharing it out. If you can email it, go ahead. Send them the link. We need to add a lot of awareness. We're also going to talk about a petition. It's already got 30,000 signatures on it. It's not even a month old yet. So word is getting out, but we need to spread this far and wide. And by the end of the show tonight, you're going to know why we need to share this far and wide. You might be getting affected, not even know it. And then here from the eye, you come down with another cancer, and you didn't take any experimental jabs. And you're thinking, why would that happen? Well, we're going to tell you why. Michelle, you ready to come in? Give me a thumbs up. You're a little bit dark. Hi, Michelle.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
She's a little bit dark because she's got a great tan, Ed. Come on.
Great tan. We'll go with that.
So can you tell people a little bit about you, where you're from, what you're doing, how you got involved?
Sure. I'm from a little town called Callander, which is just south of North Bay. I've lived up in this Northern Ontario for my whole life, and part of the Libertarian Party. I guess was a freedom fighter during convoy, like COVID convoy, that kind of stuff. And a grandmother, and as well First Nation. And yeah, here I am.
Excellent. So I guess are you right dead smack center where they're going to be? The Ministry of Natural Resources is going to be spraying now.
Yeah.
Have you got any documentation from them? Have they been in contact with you at all?
No, I've reached out to a couple of different organizations. Nobody's really gotten back to me except for one organization that said that they just can't really do anything at this time. So that was a little bit frustrating. Yeah, I know that there's been a few protests and show of people in front of the MP's office here in North Bay. And what I heard about the protest in Sudbury with the First Nation people there was that the police actually blocked traffic from going about a kilometer from where they're protesting. And I just lost both.
1 minute later, or is it 10? I can't remember which one it was.
That's that.
Ed, you're muted. Michelle, we seem to have lost you. I don't know.
So she's probably in a bad cell phone area. She's driving home right now. And that's how you drop
Yeah, I'm
off.
just.
Anyways, I'm sure she'll be back in. Yeah, you're in bad cell phone area. I don't know if you can hear us.
It's giving me flashbacks. You remember back in the day where I kept losing same thing?
Yeah. Shaw, if you can hear me, I'm going to kick you out. Come back in when you get better reception. Whatever. It's Northern Ontario. Sometimes you get a reception, sometimes you don't.
That's what happens. Yes, Jem, you're correct with the French accent.
We will be live. Blue Ribbon had another one earlier. Hernandez cutting out 1 hour later.
So
No, I think it's a cell phone.
this is the interesting stuff about this, because I've seen stuff that the MNR has been putting out, and what MNR done was they gave a couple of people from their office and they gave their phone numbers and email addresses and said for you to contact them about scheduling an inspection of your property. Here's the thing, guys. It's all trespassing. They cannot come on your properties. They can't inspect. They can't do nothing without your permission. And you never let government on your property. Whether you're doing anything wrong or not, you never do, because they'll find something and they'll try to screw you. So always remember, access denied.
Wait till you see this access denied. Whoa. Check this out. I was looking for the MNR spray program. Where is it here? How do you like that?
Their website's down. No information for you. That's it.
They apologize. Are they going to apologize for spraying and poisoning people?
Well, Ed, this is just the thing. If what the avenue should be going on now is all the people in those areas should be getting all together, and when you get a massive amount of people, your legal costs are very little. So all you got to do is get all these people together, get a lawyer on board. If you can't find one, contact me. I got lots of lawyers that would be loving to take this on, and um, get an injunction, get an ex parte injunction, have them stopped right then and there, and then proceed with a challenge in the court to it. Obviously, health is going to be a problem. You're going to have a huge problem. Well, there's more than one, Curly. There's a hell of a lot. There's 61,000 cases going on right now. There's another 11,000. There's tens of thousands and tens of thousands daily coming up on them. And unfortunately, that's in the USA. And you see, USA has up-to-date studies. And this is why Monsanto Bayer Roundup is getting, all these class actions, and they're trying to settle them as fast as they're coming in, because they keep, there's new studies and everything. Where, like, remember during COVID, Ed, I had said that science works different here, because everywhere else where they were banning the jabs and stuff, Canada was saying there's no there's no danger, everything's safe and effective. Where are we going to hear this? I guess Roundup's safe and effective too.
Okay, let's look at what the MNR is supposed to be doing with our money. I'm gonna share this screen. Expenditure estimates for the Ministry of Natural Resources. You guys see it there, nice and big? I'm going to read this for you guys. Expenditure estimates for the Ministry of Natural Resources 2025-2026. 2025-2026 expenditure estimate sets out details of the operating and capital spending requirements of the Ministry of Natural Resources for the fiscal year commencing April 1st, 2025. Summary. The Ministry of Natural Resources, MNR, oversees management of Ontario's natural resources, including forest, fisheries, wildlife, aggregates, which is rocks and sand, petroleum resources, which is oil coming out of the ground, and crown lands, public parks, etc. Ministry strives to achieve its mandate by promoting knowledge of Ontario's natural resources, their management and opportunities for enjoyment, strengthening management of natural resources to ensure environmental integrity and resilience, and increasing natural resource-related economic benefits through innovation and sustainable resource management. MNR provides support to the province, including frontline wildlife fire management operations in the delivery of emergency management responsibilities in Ontario, while providing services to protect people and economic values from wildfires, floods, drought, subsurface gas migration, and other natural hazards. Funny how it says nothing about chemicals that are being sprayed by the air, eh? Or by helicopters or planes, whatever. MNR works with Indigenous communities, forest industry, aggregates sector, and other partners to encourage responsible, sustainable development. The Ministry engages with Indigenous communities to fulfill the Crown's legal duty to consult in order to inform the development and implementation of economic policies, programs, and initiatives. The Ministry also works to increase Indigenous partnership and participation in the forestry and aggregate sectors, including resource revenue sharing. Which one of these do you want to look at, Stefanos?
Well, that would be under the Natural Resource Management program. There should be something in there because remember, the guys that they're coming in to spray here is they're claiming competing vegetation. So they want to knock off competing vegetation. Does that make any freaking sense to you?
I just want to say something. Like, I've been repeatedly telling people this year, the forest has been lush. It's been beautiful. It's been abundant. Like berries everywhere. There's still raspberries. There's flowers that were just everywhere. Like, it was just amazing this year in the forest. I was quite taken just with the forest was just lush. And now it's going to be dead. Like, it's just unbelievable what they're doing.
Dead, contaminated, and contaminated for years to come. Now, you want to know how bad this stuff is. They've been doing this in the U.S. Now they're starting to stop it. There's been a lot of noise that's been going on. You know, you have MNR out there. They're chopping trees, not cutting them down, just stripping some bark off and spraying with a spray bottle of Roundup. And they spray it into that, and it kills those trees, and then it kills everything else all the way around it for, I can't remember, I think it was like 100 yards or something, because that goes through the roots into the ground and then contaminates all the ground and contaminates everything around it and kills all that off too. So instead of doing that, they're just taking a plane, they're just going to mass wipe everything out. So this is how deadly this stuff is, and then it contaminates everything for years to come. You can't eat your vegetables out of the garden. Guarantee if you go get it tested, it's going to come back with high levels of glyphosate in it and everything else.
Well, and I've got a garden. That's one of the things I was like, I'm going to have to get stuff tested because I don't trust anything now that it's not contaminated, right? So all that work, all that time, everything just gone.
Well,
And you know, like Quebec has banned it for how long now? 20 years?
it's been bad a long time, but you see, Quebec's different, right? Quebec runs on a whole other system. People don't know that. They run on a whole other system than the rest of Canada. But this is why they can do it. You can actually have private health care in Quebec. Imagine that. Can't have it in BC, though, because we run on a different system. So Yeah, there was a court ruling on that. Don't even get me started on that crap. But yeah, so this is what's happening with everything that's going on around here with the spraying. It's completely, it's poisoning everyone. It's contaminating everyone. You were talking. Speak a little bit about the one case you were talking about on the studies and stuff, just so people know.
Oh, there's multiple studies from multiple countries. Colombia is one of them, the US. Just if you just Google it online, there's study after study after study after lawsuit, because the glyphosates, like, they cause cancer, hormone disruptions, breathing issues. There's a multitude of things that it causes. So, and you talked about, like, people don't know that this is happening or going on, right? When the government wants us to know something or wants to put something in our face, they make sure everybody knows. It's on every freaking social media, on every news channel, on everything, on your newspaper. You get flyers, you get people knocking on your door, whatever. But when they want to keep stuff quiet like this, they just do it quietly. They put out their announcement, in the last page in a little corner or something, so nobody pays attention. And even if people do pay attention, here's some of the stuff that we're running into. Like right now, I think that there's generally the population is just fighting to survive. So how are they going to lift their heads and actually look up and say, hey, what's going on in my community or in my country? And how do I stop it if I don't agree with it, right? They don't have the reserves, they don't have the energy. So it's not just one thing happening. It's a multi-layered bunch of things just all coming together at once. And they just do what they want. They say they talk with First Nation. They haven't listened to Nipissing First Nation. They put out a statement about it. They haven't gotten anywhere with that.
There was the one case that we talked about briefly a bit about the studies, and the case was put on hold until proper studies were done.
That was that was for the Mad Dog glyphosate based pesticide in Canada. I believe it was out in BC that went through. But so kind of back this up. So we contacted a couple of people and myself. We contacted like the Ministry of Environment here and stuff, and we got a document talking about the safe use of pesticides, aerial spraying, and question and answer kind of thing. And the document's not. It's based off from 2017. So between 2017 and 2025, there have been other studies done. There have been a lot of other studies done that prove that the glyphosate is poisonous. So in Canada, was it January or February, there was a court order telling the companies to go back and redo their scientific research because everything that they were using was all outdated. It made no sense to be using it today with what we know today, right?
Yeah, so those studies were back in 2017, and they were not rigorous studies. They weren't in depth. There was nothing, and all they say is.
And a lot of the companies can submit their own data. So the companies that are producing this stuff get to do their own testing and everything and submit their own data to say this is what it is or this is what it isn't. So who reviews that? Who's looking into that? Because
and what's considered
ridiculous.
What's considered a study? Can I take a little weed there?
Data can be manipulated, absolutely.
Died.
Yep.
That's the study. It's done. Nobody died who put it on, so it's safe for humans. Basically, that's what they're doing.
No long-term studies, right?
No long-term, no in-depth, no rigorous studies. And this is what Canada allows. This is why we had millions of deaths with the death jabs that they gave everyone.
And continue to do so, right? So it's just another example. The government does not care. They will do what they want, and people can say, oh, I'm not going to do anything or say anything because it's not affecting me. Well, one day it will. They will come knocking on your door because it just, with everything, with COVID, with this, with whatever they want, they just push it through until the people have had enough and all stand up. It's going to continue.
And that's Canada's problem. Nobody's got a backbone here. Nobody stands up. You know, we'll go stand outside a building, knowing full well that the politicians are not going to hear you. They're not going to listen to you. They don't care. It's just like with the
Still at night.
turbines when they first brought in the wind turbines, and there's been
Yeah.
definitive studies on the infrasound that cause significant harm to humans, animals, and the environment. And but hey, let's let Doug Ford, whom by the way is also responsible of this. This is the federal,
Yeah.
provincial government that's doing this garbage. So congratulations, PC supporters who voted this idiot in with the majority once again.
Doug Ford's a signo, right? A conservative in name only. He's a liberal at heart and soul.
You guys
So,
want me to read this about the dangers of glyphosate aerial spraying?
Yeah, that's good. The people need to hear this so they know exactly what's going to happen to them or potentially happen to them.
City of Moonbeam, Ontario started the resolution to stop the spraying. Below is a copy of their resolution. To access online, to see the completed document with attachments, please go to tinyurl.com 5HX9N8M2. There it is there. The Corporation of the Township of
so
Moonbeam.
just to interject, this was sent out to all 444 municipalities when they put this resolution through. So they've all got a copy.
So if anyone's wondering where's Moonbeam, it's up on Highway 11. I think
Way
it's just
north.
before you get to Hearst, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. So that's Cochrane, Hearst, up on that top section of Highway 11 on the far north. Whereas the use of aerial spraying of glyphosate for forestry poses significant biodiversity loss, harmful health effects on wildlife, loss of use of land for recreational tourism and hunting, gathering purposes, water contamination, and concerns about the effects on human health. Loss of biodiversity as glyphosate kills broadleaf plants and reduces habitat diversity. This can also lead to soil erosion due to loss of vegetation and loss of habitat and nutrient sources for wildlife, insects, and aquatic life. Glyphosate promotes monoculture, which reduces forest resilience and also kills non-targeted species. Species such as moose, birds, snowshoe hares, and insects lose their food and shelter due to glyphosate spraying, and the ability to move away from spraying safely has not been adequately studied.
Hey, hold on, Ed. If it kills the animals and stuff, how does it not harm humans? This is what I want to figure out here. I don't get
Right?
that.
Well, you see, they claim that it's killing the food that these animals eat. So when you're like moose, they eat dogwood, which is also a broadleaf. That's that red broadleaf plant that you see. It's about usually 1.5 to 2 meters high, about 6 feet high, maxed out, and it's red. That's a favorite food for moose, as is young and small poplar trees. So the spraying is going to kill all these poplar trees and the dogwood.
Yeah,
So the moose are going to go hungry.
And everything else it touches.
it'll die before it gets hungry because of the fact that these leaves have now this chemical on it. You think they're going to stop just because they sprayed and they're not going to eat those leaves? They're going to keep eating. They're animals. They don't know any better. They're going to eat those leaves with all that crap on it. So that's what's going to kill them before starvation does.
Sprayed areas can look dead or scorched. The land used for recreation, tourism, and hunting. Gathering can be lost. Future growth of vegetation can be impeded. With an uncertain future for land use, berries such as blueberries and raspberries are killed after being sprayed. Contamination of waterways, including rivers, lakes, and wetlands by winds carrying glyphosate, and potential spills harming aquatic life and ecosystems. Contamination of drinking water sources with glyphosate, poisoning potential human health risks. Aerial glyphosate spraying can drift into nearby communities, roads, and waterways. Chronic exposure to glyphosate has suspected negative impact contributing to human health, including endocrine disruption and concerns that it is carcinogenic. The need for more comprehensive long-term solutions that cannot be achieved through isolated municipal efforts. And whereas municipalities have a limited ability to address the issue of the aerial spraying of glyphosate, particularly on Crown land, and require provincial leadership and regulation. And whereas the province of Ontario has a responsibility to protect the environment and public health and must take action to reduce the harm caused by aerial spraying of glyphosate, therefore be it resolved that the municipality of Moonbeam urges the federal and provincial governments to take immediate action to end the aerial spraying of glyphosate. The municipality of Moonbeam calls for the province to form and fund an expert stakeholder advisory committee to advise on the best courses of action to protect land, vegetation, wildlife, waterways, air, and humans from the harmful effects of aerial spraying of glyphosate. The municipality of Moonbeam commits to working with the province of Ontario and other municipalities to advocate for stronger provincial leadership on aerial spraying of glyphosate. The municipality of Moonbeam directs its staff to actively participate in any provincial initiatives or task forces related to the aerial spraying of glyphosate. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution can be forwarded to the following: the Honourable Minister of Environment, Conservation and Parks, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, and other relevant provincial and regional agencies, meaning that it went out to 444 municipalities in Ontario. Now it's on July 21st, 2025.
So now we're a month later.
Yeah.
And there's only a couple of other municipalities that have put through the same resolution.
So there's a key thing there, Ed. You're going to see what you read there. It says spraying on what? Crown land, not private property. So this is the key. So they can't come over and spray over your place.
Right.
That would be a trespass. This is why they're trying to suck people in, to email them and call them up to come and inspect their properties. I think everybody should get those names and numbers, email and call them up, and actually email them notices of trespass, and to put a cease and desist on spraying, and that if any of that crap they're spraying, or if they spray accidentally on your property, you'll be commencing a lawsuit against them immediately and seeking charges of trespass. So this is crazy. This is insane, because even if they spray the property beside you, if you live beside Crown land, it's going to contaminate the crap out of your land. Everything's going to be dead. And when you grow anything, it's going to be contaminated.
Change.org petition warns that wildfire smoke from glyphosate sprayed areas may release toxic carcinogenic byproducts.
And what are they doing in Nova Scotia right now?
What are they doing in Newfoundland?
In Newfoundland, right? What are they doing? There's fires burning and they're spraying. You know, you can get charged for spitting on someone, right? So how is this any different than their planes spitting out stuff at us? It's rules for thee and not for me.
It's you're absolutely right, because if you spit on someone, you can actually be charged with attempted murder, or if you have AIDS or something, you will get charged with murder. So when they're dumping carcinogens on you, should we not be seeking charges of murder or attempted murder? So this is the crap. This is the crap that Canada has become. A total cesspool of crap. It's like one big sewage system, and they're spewing out shit everywhere, pardon the pun. But just because a old, outdated study says may, it's not a definite yes or no. And you know, whoever writes the studies will never say a definite yes or no. They're going to say may.
Well, and the people that wrote the document for the Ministry of Environment have connections to forestry management, so they are biased. You can't tell me that they aren't, right? That's their livelihood. Of course, they're going to say whatever they need to say. And like third-party independent reviews, that should be a thing.
Here, let me take this one more step for y'all. So in Greece, it's always been a chronic problem of fires. So media has been reporting on it now more and more in the last couple of years because they're trying to push the bullshit climate change. But this is a thing in Greece. When you're in Greece, no matter, even when I was 15 and I was there, anywhere you look, you see mountains, and anywhere you look, you see smoke because there's fire. And what they do is they pay people to start these fires, burn it down, and then developers come in and they build.
Yeah.
And well, we've seen the problem with Ford and his developer buddies, which, mind you, I don't have any problem against development. We need development 100%. And I love
Who's doing the developing and how,
I love
and
the
who's
fact,
profiting?
I love the fact that Ford wanted to remove those things and allow development. But it shouldn't be development just for developers or as buddy developers or however it is. It should be everybody can develop, especially on private property. The Lynch case, the judge said, as a private property owner, you have every right to develop your lands. So this is something that government cannot interfere with. It's right in the Supreme Court ruling. The other point is the fact that if you put two and two together, and if they keep wanting to push this development narrative, what's the best way to get rid of forest, vegetation, and kill it all off without starting a fire?
Mhm.
Then
Exactly.
you go right in and clear the rest, what's left of it on the land. It will be much easier to clear and build away. No, I got no evidence of that, but I'm just connecting the dots. That's all.
It's like, okay, so if we look at even the cost of everything from beginning to end, so you're talking about the the manufacturing of the chemical, the employees that get paid there, the insurance that gets paid out when you have a company like that, the transportation of it, the hazardous transportation of that kind of material, and then bringing it up to here. So now you got storage spaces to store that material, and then you have planes that require maintenance, and they require fuel, and they require insurance, and blah blah blah. Like the list goes on and on. There's a lot of money that they're spending on this. So to me, in our economy where there's a lot of people that are willing to work, why would you not do the right thing for the environment? Hire a whole bunch of people. Like, how many people could they hire for 6 months of the year to go to come up here and cut the brush, right? Just cut it. If you're that concerned about it, pay people to come up to go into the bush, give them jobs. They're working, they're taking care of the fire hazard, or the supposed fire hazard, which, and here's the other thing, like the ground is much, much more moisture rich with all this vegetation on the ground. As soon as you take that out, everything dries up, and then you're ripe for a forest fire. And 81% of forest fires are caused by lightning strikes. That's on the government's own site.
Right.
Right.
No,
So,
that's not true. Antifa
no, sorry,
starts
81% are caused by arsonists. The other
That's closer.
19% are 18% caused by lightning, and
And
maybe 1%.
let's give credit to where credit's due. It's Antifa that
True.
started these fires, or at least
Yeah.
they're the ones that are always found to be lighting these fires, eh?
Yeah. But I mean,
It-
that's the government saying that 81% are caused by lightning strikes, right? Not by humans, by
right.
lightning strike on the government's own site. Now we know that, there's arsonists, they're doing this all over the place.
But I'm not seeing this on the government's website for this particular spraying. Like I said, it's competing vegetation.
Yeah.
So and why can't we pay people to go in and cut them down?
Yeah.
Because of environmentalism and the climate change. We can't cut the fucking trees down because the planet's gonna burn up. We're gonna have no oxygen and carbon fucking emissions. So where the fuck does that make sense? Where the hell do people not even figure this shit out? Like, is everybody that stupid? They're saying you can't cut a tree down on your private property. You end up with $450,000 fine. You end up in jail for fucking 3 years. But yet we're gonna just spray everything and fucking kill it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Who's doing the damage here? Like, Are people that stupid? Have Canadians become that dumbed down, that fucking stupid, that they can't see the obvious bullshit, the blatant bullshit that you're being fed? This is crazy.
Again, it go like I said, I think, like the fluoride in the water might have something to do with that. But they keep people so beat down and just trying to keep afloat that I think it is really difficult for the average person just to look up and take a stand. And the problem is that if nobody does, like, there's not going to be anything left when they do look up.
Oh, now you said look up, and that's brings in the other spraying that's been going on since 75. So, this is all just insanity. And who's at the top? Who's at the head? It's the United Nations. They're the greatest threat to the people. They're the greatest threat to the planet. They're the greatest threat to the environment, period. Because it's actually them and our idiot elected idiots in
Yep.
the federal, provincial, municipal governments that are just perpetuating this stupidity and buying into this stuff, and they are the ones killing the environment, not me, because this tree is a hazard to my foundation. I'm going to cut it down, and I'm going to get charged. But don't worry about the, what is it, 30,000 acres they're spraying? I can't remember how much it was, but it's quite the size.
Hey, Stefanos, remember last time we talked a couple conversations ago? I was talking about, you were talking about Agent Orange that was used in Vietnam to wipe out everything.
Yep.
I thought you had it wrong, but no. Apparently, 50% of Agent Orange, and that's what's being used. 2,4/4/D, which is now banned in half the provinces of Canada for health and environmental reasons. Google Killex, 2,4-D, and dioxins. Since 2010, the Ontario government has approved, and the forestry companies have almost exclusively relied on glyphosate-based herbicides similar to Roundup. If you don't already know, the new owner of Monsanto, which is Bayer, is just settling $11 billion in cancer lawsuits in relationship to glyphosate-based Roundup. And during this lawsuit, documents leaked out that Monsanto knew for decades that the product causes cancer,
Right?
but actively, intentionally lied to and deceived governments around the world. Google search, Bayer $11 billion cancel settlements and Monsanto papers. Quebec completely banned the use of all chemical herbicides by the forestry industry in 2001, 20 years ago, and it's the exact same forest in Quebec and Ontario. The
Yep.
provinces share a north-south border. Our petition to Ontario government is below. Please sign and please share. Spread the word. We can do this, Ontario.
So, Ed, that's because I'm a war nut. I'm a history war nut. So I knew this stuff back in high school, for Christ's sake. That's why I knew that crap. But this is what they done in Vietnam: is they killed all the vegetation off, made it rain to make it miserable, killed the vegetation. They couldn't hide in it, and this is where weather modification was supposed to be banned. We got it going on. That's a convention. They're not enforceable. So this is treaties, conventions, accords are not enforceable. So that's the whole bullshit. It's one big shit salad of hypocrisy, and that's what's going on.
All right, is the lawsuit up?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's up.
August 19th, 2025, Monsanto Roundup lawsuit update. In this post, our Roundup lawyers will give you an update on where things stand in the Roundup class action lawsuit in August 2025, the likely direction the Roundup litigation will take moving forward, and the expected future settlement amounts in the Bayer Roundup lawsuit phase 2. 61,000 cases left and counting. That's in May
And
2020.
counting. There'll be more added after they spray here.
Yeah,
As of-
and there's more being added continually. So I'd like to know how many have they fucking settled.
I'd say they've settled 39,000 already. More than 4,000 remain consolidated in federal MDL in California. New weed killer lawsuits continue to be filed regularly. Our legal team hears daily from individuals recently diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma after years of using Roundup. If you believe you may have a claim, contact us directly through our hotline. I know a buddy of mine, hunting friend of mine, that died from that. He's only 72 years old.
So the people that handle the chemicals have to wear hazmat suits, but it's okay, it won't harm you.
Yeah, why would it? That's why
Right.
you're wearing that suit. It has been a long and often frustrating road for victims of Roundup exposure. What began with a single California jury handing down a $289 million verdict 7 years ago has evolved into one of the most significant product liability lawsuits in U.S. history. Bayer has spent the years since trying to contain the fallout. The company has been busy. It has fought thousands of cases in court, secured multi-billion-dollar settlements, and advanced legal theories aimed at shielding it from future claims. Those detailed timeline of verdicts, appeals, legal developments. Bayer may be learning from its bruising Roundup experience. The company announced that it is filed for regulatory approval of the new herbicide called Crop Key in the United States. The European Union, Brazil, and Canada, unlike Roundup, which is built on glyphosate, Crop Key's active ingredient is icofolin methyl. Bayer is pitching it as a safer next-generation product designed to sidestep the cancer controversies that have fueled an avalanche of litigation. So, what does that tell you?
Safer. And
Right.
it's
Doesn't
not.
mean safe.
Bayer and its Monsanto unit remain buried under thousands of Roundup lawsuits, with more being filed each month. Its legislative push to limit liability through state law changes has produced only mixed results. Juries continue to deliver significant verdicts. The science linking long-term glyphosate exposure to cancer has grown too credible to ignore. Against that backdrop, Bayer is betting that Crop Key can not only open a new commercial chapter, but also help draw a line under its litigation exposure. Bayer may be finally dialing down the endless litigation spiral. It's quietly released settlements in thousands of Roundup cases this year, and now it is bringing closure to the massive PCB saga. In a landmark development, Bayer reached agreements in principle with over 200 plaintiffs who had claimed exposures to PCBs at Sky Valley Education Center near Seattle just this week. The stock market cheered the settlement just like it would cheer more Roundup settlements. Bayer sets money aside for Roundup settlements and verdicts.
Where are they getting all the money to pay for their lawyers, right? It's through the sales of the stuff to Canada still.
Yeah, big bucks. Huge money.
Like Canada, if you look up, and I can't remember the exact amount, but I'm going to say it was over 40% of the world's pesticides are being used in Canada. It was like an astronomical number.
That's what I mean. It's one big shit salad.
Yeah.
That's going on here. It's just garbage, and you know, nobody holds anybody accountable here. This is the problem. Everybody's a fucking complier in Canada. That's the problem.
Like on our road, like everybody's got wells here. So, you know what I mean? Does that mean all of our water's contaminated now? And
sure,
because I'm definitely going to be bringing my water in to be tested as well, before and after.
Yeah, that'll contaminate the crap out of the water table. Yeah. Like I said, this stuff has a huge contamination.
Massive impact.
Just off of one drop. Never mind spraying massive amounts. Who knows? Do they even say anywhere in their reports or anything on how many liters of this shit they're going to dump or anything anywhere?
You know, what's funny is like the report that the Ministry of Environment sent to us, it was very dismissive as far as concerns, and it was more of a persuasive piece than an actual fact-based piece of literature, right? And they just keep doing this.
Well, and you have your admittance right there where the documents were leaked, where they knew it was causing harms. So what the fuck are these idiots going and saying, let's spray it? If it's already been leaked, and it's an admitted known fact, why are they pushing it? You know, that again, that goes beyond negligence. That goes to recklessness.
Oh
That's
yeah,
just them acting.
that's premeditated.
Well, reckless.
Yep.
That's where I'm going to go with it. I won't go premeditated. I'll go reckless. That's even worse.
I don't know if you guys are reading any of this stuff, but this is disgusting because the EPA said it's reasonably safe. The guy's award of $75 million in the courts was upheld. 600 million affirmed.
It's just insane, Ed. I just don't get it. You know, if I was you, Michelle, I would be going to your municipality. I would be writing to the ministers. I would be making it absolutely 100% clear to them that there will be fallout and that they will be hauled into court over this 100% because the evidence is out there. What
It's
fucking
out there.
in reports are they even doing? Why are they doing studies and reports if they've already done their own and know that it destroys everything? Well, you know, that's just, you know, it causes cancer and shit. That's nuts.
Yep. Anybody with breathing issues, any kind of respiratory issue, you know, it's going to aggravate that and they're going to blame it on something else, I'm sure. Our air quality is not good today because of the smog coming up from Toronto. Right.
The smoke from the wildfires and let's throw heat in there. It's dangerous because of the heat. You're not going to be able to breathe.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, there's been a notice of liability served to a lot of people here, and we're encouraging people to continue to do so and to follow up. The Mayor Moonbeam was absolutely open and transparent, and he immediately sent me all the documents that he had done when I gave him a call and asked him how did he do it, right? And what did he do? And had asked me to share it out with anybody that wants to use it.
I would be taking a different approach. Forget notice of liabilities; those are garbage, mean nothing. I would be giving them a cease and desist, and I would also be giving them a trespass notice, and that's where I would go because if they don't cease and desist, that opens them up right there. And notice of liability, big deal. They know nobody's going to do anything. When they were doing them in COVID, they said, "Oh, you're not a lawyer; it doesn't matter," so they ignored them, and nobody took them to court. So. Waste of time, they know it. But a cease and desist and a trespass notice, complete different thing,
Yeah.
and then follow up with it.
Fantastic. We'll definitely be doing those and encourage everybody to put them in. The more the merrier, right? The more voices out there, the more of an impact we're going to make. And the sooner we get this stopped. Somebody said, you know, it doesn't matter. They're going to do it anyway. Like, we're not going to be able to get it stopped now. And I'm like, what about the future generations? What about like us in the future, right? Because they're going to do it again and again and again until we say it's enough. Stop.
And that's what I'm talking about. Everybody's just a fucking complier. Everybody just complies here.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, if they said 50 years old and up, report to this station for euthanasia, I'll bet you everybody will show up. You're going to get be euthanized. That's it. Doesn't matter. They'll be there like sheep.
Yeah.
You know what? Every time I Google M&R spraying, another area pops up, but it's only in the local papers. You can't find it on the M&R website. I don't know where these guys are getting this information.
It's because the municipalities are doing it under the direction of the province. Remember, municipalities are creatures of the province, so so they take their marching orders from the province, and they're not going to put it up because they're going to try to distance themselves from saying it's not M&R per se, and they'll put it on the municipality to do it. So they're going to take the heat, just like when Ford said, "Oh, we didn't mandate. Our mandates were just a suggestion. So, you know, they're not laws. So we didn't say that you had to make policies. That was just a suggestion." So they relieve themselves of liability, so they don't get the shit suit out of them.
And that's a huge problem. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like I'm 50 years old, so no, I would say I'm not 50 if somebody put a call out to go get euthanized at 50. But today's day and age, like with the technology that we have, with everything, life should be easier, cleaner, healthier, better. We should be working less and reaping more rewards. And instead, it's ass backwards. People are working longer. We're sicker than ever. Everybody's medicated, either for physical, mental health reasons, and they just keep doing what they're doing, destroying our environment, destroying. So when we talked about a little bit earlier, like I go into the forest and I pull out stuff for medicine, right? Like they're attacking that. They're attacking people's ability to heal themselves.
Yeah, and it's not, governments become so brazen. They're not hiding it from you now. Now they're just up in your face and we're gonna do this. It's gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
It's gonna make you sick.
Mhm.
Too bad.
Yep. Like they don't care. They sleep very well at night. We need to make them care and not sleep well at night.
Yeah, and in case anybody didn't hear, this is the PC Party of Ontario that's doing it. They do not care.
No,
Even with sexually and physically and mentally abused children, they will
they
not
don't care.
talk to the survivors of those places. They
Mhm.
will not do nothing. They will not work with them. Just dead silence. Because why? They don't give a shit about your kids. Wake the hell up. They don't give a shit. Government is not there for you to take care of you, all right? They're there for their own greedy little pockets, and Fat Pig Ford, the way he is, just to keep stuffing his fat face and just get fatter.
Yep.
That's what he cares about, nothing else.
Check this out.
Well,
It was noted that the last time Health Canada had evaluated the impact of glyphosate on human health and environmental risks had been between 2004 and 2017. Since that time, there has been 61 new scientific studies that Health Canada had not looked at. These studies concluded there were significant risks that come with the use of the herbicide. In the US, there have been at least 58,000 claims against Bayer, parent company of Roundup, which is marketed through its subsidiary company Monsanto. Europe has banned some formulas of glyphosate and its use. In 2015, the World Health Organization International Agency for Research on Cancer classified glyphosate as possibly carcinogenic to humans. So you might get cancer. In Northern Ontario, the traditional ecological knowledge elders have been fighting with the government of Canada for over 10 years to get them to stop the aerial spraying of their traditional hunting and fishing grounds. The
but
traditional,
they're going to work with First Nation groups, right?
well, they're going to consult with them, which means you guys
Consult,
want to
sorry,
mention
yeah.
complaint, yeah, we'll hear your complaint and
Then
turn
we'll
it back.
dismiss it and we'll just keep doing what the hell we want to do.
So I'd like to say, what's the consulting? What consulting they do? And, they started spraying yesterday because it was supposed to begin on the 20th.
Yep.
First today. So what did First Nations do? Where is First Nations? Where's Six Nations? Where's anybody? It's what's shit show. Is money more important than your people's lives? Like what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so just so people are clear, the ones that are watching what we're talking about. So apparently, when they do clear cutting, the following year they come in and they clean up the land, and then they plant little trees. Then they wait a couple of years, and the little trees, the young little trees that they planted, which are usually pine or spruce, they grow maybe a foot. But the weeds or the glyphosates that kill these weeds, like the dogwood and other plants,
Mhm.
they take over, and they say that it doesn't get enough light, so that little 1 foot sapling, chances are it dies off. So their argument is if we kill everything on the ground where we've logged and planted the new young trees, the pine trees, which would be just pure pine trees, nothing else or whatever they're putting on the ground,
A Galilean
uh,
dialect.
well, that'll take off and everything else won't. In the meantime, all these glyphosates are getting into the water. We
Mhm.
know it's eroding in. I don't know if they can sue me over this, but I would be suspect if the glyphosate stays where it's sprayed. I highly doubt it. opinions?
No, it doesn't.
They don't. No.
Large areas of land, it contaminates huge. Like one drop will contaminate a significant area of land, and it's bad. It's like really bad. And those studies have already been done.
So they're trying to. It's basically like farming trees for lumber is what they're doing. Spruce, pine, and fir are the only ones that survive because they got little tiny needles. They don't have leaves, and that's the way Roundup or glyphosates work. So they claim. I don't know if it does work, but apparently over the years I've seen stretches for miles and miles and miles in the same damn trees. Nothing different.
Hmm.
You can tell where it's been clear cut and where it hasn't. Because when you go farther up north in northern Canada that hasn't been touched yet by roads and they haven't logged it, you'll see areas where there's pine. You'll see areas where there's
A mix.
it's a mix, and you got
Yeah.
areas where you got more pine concentrations. You got area where there's more broadleaf, like the moose's favorite food, or one of them is a poplar tree. You'll see big areas full of poplars, and they grow high and they overshadow the pine trees, so the pine trees get wiped out. And that bush is pretty easy to move around in. Then you got other areas where it's mixed bush, and they got other areas where it's mostly pine. And then in the swamps, you see different swamp species. So if they're planting the little trees, or if that's been logged and clear cut, sure they're replacing the trees, but it's only with one species. It's not mixed like it was originally in nature. And that's so in 40 or 50 years, it's going to be very lucrative to log that.
Yeah.
Also,
So
it's a
profit
fire
driven.
risk. Because if all the pine trees are the same dryness, they can wipe out whole tracts of land because it all goes up.
Hmm.
It kills everything. That thing kills everything. It doesn't discriminate. But so it says glyphosate doesn't contaminate a fixed area. Instead, it spreads. Its spread depends on application method and environmental factors. While a single spray might cover a few hundred square feet, Roundup's active ingredient glyphosate can travel via drift, water, or soil, potentially contaminating large, widespread agricultural lands or even remote areas globally. So this, when you're getting from a plane to spray, if they're spraying 30,000 acres, that's probably going to translate into could be 100,000 or even more. So, we're talking huge areas of land, and any private property beside it's going to be contaminated to hell.
So maybe we should clear cut around Doug Ford's cottage, and then he can get sprayed with glyphosate.
Nah, we don't need
Maybe.
just let it fall on him. Fat boy will just soak it all up. He's got a big
Yeah, but
hot mass there.
the thing is, you got to have that forest around them clear cut, otherwise it won't spray there. So they're only supposed to be spraying where the new trees have been planted.
But here's the thing, they're the ones that cause like clear cutting. I don't agree with clear cutting. And if anybody, I don't know if you've ever seen a clear cut, say like in the forest, it's like a scar on the land, right? So they cut the trees, they just clear cut everything. They plant these little trees and they say, oh, the little trees are competing with, other nature. So we're going to kill all those things off. So it's the Hegelian dialect. The problem, they make the problem and then they offer the solution, right?
Right.
But it's all twisted anyway. That's how they present it.
And they also don't speak about plants that are dependent on other plants, and that's why they grow by those other plants.
Yeah.
So, you start removing certain plants, you're going to do huge damage to the environment.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big, oh man, this is just on a scale unimaginable. This should be considered a genocide, if anything.
Yeah. And then
Well,
people that want to save the bees, like what about the bees? The pollinators?
Bees are going down.
Right.
Yeah,
And
why
you
is
can save
that?
your honey this year because it might not be around forever.
Well, then we'll have to do like they do in China, where you take feathers, ostrich feathers, maybe. We need the ostriches, and you brush the plants with it to mix the pollen around. They do that by hand.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Ed, you're going to be running around out in that forest back there when you're trying to find a moose that won't be around anymore, and make sure you got a little feather with you so you can rub that pollen around.
You know, it's interesting. The moose will come to the clear cuts, but they won't go in very far. It's easy to walk around. There's not a lot of bugs around there. So they do like the clear cuts, but after about 15 years, the clear cut actually supports the moose. If, and this is a big if the dogwood comes back and
Mhm.
if the poplar trees come back. So it's going to get into the beavers, it gets into the water. This glyphosate is nasty shit. I don't think people realize how nasty this stuff actually is until you
We've
get
got like
non-lymphoma and
pond
acid.
after pond in our backyard with a beaver dam and ducks, and you know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of wildlife in our backyard, and it's it's a massacre is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, taking action. What can people do?
Stand up, speak out, contact your MPs, contact your local council, talk to your neighbors, start saying something, right? Don't just bury your head in the sand or somebody else will take care of it. Like just do something, anything. And I'm
Or
sure, Savannah, you can kind of direct people again, maybe to the court documents they would need, the trespass and
Yeah,
the cease and desist.
that's a cease and desist, and not only that, you're missing the most important thing. Hold community meetings.
Yeah,
Rent out a place, or if they can donate you the place just for the night, uh, drop flyers, stuff the mailboxes, forget about Canada Post, do it yourselves.
yeah,
Get a bunch of groups together, get all these volunteers together, hold the meetings with the community, get people to sign up to bring a mass lawsuit against them. Again, it's all cheaper because it's considered as one lawsuit. It's not a bunch of separate ones.
yeah.
So one lawsuit divided upon many people, it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper. Then you start that fight, and you start with an emergency injunction first. There's more than enough evidence for that, and then they'll haul them into the court. That's all they're going to understand.
okay, I'm going to share another page here. If you're not quite sure what we're talking about, go get yourself some more information. Go to stopthespray.ca. And I'm going to share that page right now if I can. So maybe this is a good place to start where someone doesn't know what the hell we're
It's
talking
a great
about.
place to start. Yeah.
So stopthespray.ca, is it up? Yeah, it's up. And so you don't eat moose meat, so who cares? Well, what happens when you go camping there? What happens if your cousin's up there and they're drinking water that's been tainted with the glyphosate, and then they get cancer?
Hmm.
Or you go up there, you start drinking the water, you think it's clean? Well, no, this shit's in there. It's poison, and it does move around. So stopthespray.ca, and it's literally, the website is stopthespray.ca, and start there. Maybe even print these things out.
Yeah, I also in the chat there I posted the web address to where all the lawsuits are with Bayer, Monsanto. Um, so you should read up on that. There's a wealth of information there also. So just educate yourselves.
Hmm.
Kill off native vegetation that might compete with monoculture conifer plantations.
That might compete.
Agent Orange, there it is again. It keeps coming up, this Agent Orange, eh?
That's right. And it's all about competing vegetation. This is what they keep saying, which is stupid.
All right, in the
Nature will
chat.
take care of itself. Let it compete. It'll take care of itself. You know what I mean? That's what it does. That's what it's been doing for how many millions of years before humans started using pesticides.
Videos are resurfacing with animals having lumps all over their body. Yeah, it's probably sister cancer. I'm gonna
Yeah.
post this one up. If you guys want to copy that down, I'll leave that up for a minute. Sorry, guys, I've been busy getting these slides up. I've kind of been ignoring the chat. Anything else we can put in from the chat? Any other comments you guys want to put up? Anything you want us to address? Anything that's not clear, bring it up now, post it in the chat on Facebook, and we'll address it. And then we're going to shut down the show. So you guys can share this out. We're also on Facebook. Silver is Real Money is a page. My Facebook page, Stefanos' Facebook page. I don't know what else we can do for people to start taking action.
You know, like even in neighborhoods, especially like in country neighborhoods, I'm going to say everybody in the neighborhood might not all agree on certain things, right? Maybe politics or policy or this or that. But I think we can all agree that we don't want to be poisoned. So it's a good start
All
to
right.
bring people together to get them to stand up, right? Like you were saying, Stefanos, like just get people community together, get them together talking and make something happen.
And it could be going on in your cottage or right next door to your cottage where they've done a
Yeah.
clear cut. And on a windy day, you guys are getting sprayed and it gets onto your property, gets onto your berries, and you're ingesting this stuff and you don't even know about it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how it's tough to find the maps of aerial spraying. It doesn't just come up in Google. All righty. Final comments, Stefanos.
No, nothing really. Just get out there, get your lawsuits together, bring these guys to court, get these emergency injunctions in place, and sue them, and also charge them with trespassing. Make sure you send a cease and desist and a notice of trespass. That's about it.
Michelle, thanks for coming on tonight. Final comments?
No, just get out there. We need to stop this. There's enough cancer out there already because of certain things, and this is just going to make it worse. So,
Alrighty, and my final comments, guys. If you found any value in the show, please share it out. We don't do this for money. We do this to let people know what's slipping under the radar, stuff that we feel is very important to us, our communities, our kids, and quite frankly, everyone in Ontario. And I think this is happening in a lot more provinces than just Ontario.
yeah.
Hashem just posted something. If people want to view the link, they have to copy it and paste it on another page, browser on Facebook, stream. Doesn't allow links to be opened. Don't that suck?
There's a lot of things that, right?
I'm going to put this one up now for another minute for the lawsuits information. I don't know what else can we do to help people out?
If you all decide to bring an injunction in and stop them, and you gather people, and I'm only telling you to gather people because of cost, so it's cheaper for everyone instead of one person footing the bill. Unless you're a multimillionaire and you don't care, then go for it 100%. So piss off Phil Primo, you loser. So just go ahead and do that shit. Get that all out there. If you need, just contact me, and we'll get you in contact with the proper lawyers and bring it forward.
Let's address this. I don't think he's wanted for criminal slander, is he? I didn't even know.
Don't even bother. The guy's got a mental illness, obviously. And the police keep going for wellness checks on him. He's throwing eggs at kids across the school. The guy, the coots for the money that got stolen that they were raising and everything. Just don't even bother. These people are illegitimate. They just want to rob time and try to get their name out there because they're illegitimate people. They mean nothing and are nobodies.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder what side of history Phil Primo wants to be on, the wrong side or the right side?
He's on the Antifa side, obviously.
Well, they came after Kevin because he was exposing the truth and he had legitimate concerns. As you know, the term...
it's a waste of time, Ed. Don't even bother. Kevin's not even here. So, got nothing to even do with him. So this guy's just... Yeah, he's got a problem.
Yeah.
One.
All right, guys, share this out.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Stefanos, cheers. Almost finished mine tonight.
Cheers, my brother. Thanks for coming on, Michelle. Awesome.
Share this out, guys. People need to know.